Hey, how you doing? This is Dan Land Pro. Look, you can find me at Steppers Express. Make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button because we can bringing you tutorials on different ways to do live streaming, editing, video, you name it. We do it here at Steppers Express. Okay, what we're talking about today is how to make an audio file out of one of your existing videos. So let me show you how. Okay, so we use Adobe Premiere CC. Okay, I'm not a representative of Adobe Premiere CC, but this is one of the programs I use to make a basic audio edit when I want to grab a quick sound bite or something without having to go into things like Audition. So the first thing I'll do is import a video, an existing video. So let me go over here and find one of my videos. Let me see. I think I'm going to use this one. So let's import that video. So as you can see, that video is now in my project panel or menu. And you know, if you want to bring it in, if you double click it, you see it's now in the source manager now or monitor. Now I can edit it here in the source monitor, like with my in and out points, just scrub through it, listen to it. Then I can mark it in or I can mark it out. And then I could grab it by this audio part alone and just bring the audio down to the timeline. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is go into the project menu and we're going to drag it to the timeline. Now you see it in the source monitor and the project monitor. Now you know the source monitor is for editing and the project or program monitor is for viewing. We went over that in an earlier tutorial. You can go over to Steppers Express and see it on our channel. So today we're just going over a basic edit as far as how to use your razor tool and your ripple delete tool in order to make an edit and get rid of the imagery and just use the audio, whether you're using it for sound bites or whether you're using it for a audio only podcast. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is listen to your video. Hey, how you doing? This is Dan Land Pro. You can find me at youtube.com, Steppers Express. Make sure you hit that subscribe, that like, and that share button. Look, today we're going to ask... Okay, so I know I want to hear at that share button. Make sure you hit that subscribe, that like, and that share button. Okay, so let's go get our razor tool, and we're going to cut right there. Now let's listen to a little more. Today, we're going to answer some questions that people have been asking. One of the questions people ask is, how do I make... So I want one of the questions because I don't want to use the video where we did it on all of the different live streamings. We just want that one question because that's all we're going to talk about is one program instead of many, like we did in the initial video that people have been asking. So I'm going to cut that and I'm going to make sure I delete this part. I'm not going to use because I'm going to come back and close those up with a ripple delete. One of the questions people ask is, how do I make a stepping show? How do I do stepping video? Or how do I make quality? So we want to just stop at how do I make a stepping show? I said one of the questions that people ask. Stepping show. How do I do stepping? Let's go back. Sometimes it's tedious. People ask us, how do I make a stepping show? So I'm going to cut it right there with my razor tool. And then we're going to, how do I do stepping video? Or how do I make quality stepping video? I'm going to share with you some of the programs that I use to make that happen. Okay, so I don't need any of that because I'm not sharing programs. I'm sharing one program, so I'm going to get rid of all of that. So now let's listen on. One of the main programs I use is StreamYard. So I'm going to cut that. One of the main programs I use is StreamYard. So that's what we're talking about here. So we're going to keep that. Another one I use is Telestream. See, we don't need none of that. I also use OBS at times and a number of other additional programs relative to those three main programs in order to design and create shows for Go Live, shows for content creation, shows for influencing, shows for YouTube, Twitch, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I'm going to cut that, et cetera, et cetera. I know I don't want any of that, so I can delete all that. We're looking strictly for something about StreamYard because that is the video we are creating now. And some of the tools, bells, and whistles on how to make that happen. So, okay, so I'm going to razor tool. I'm going to cut that. Those are all pieces that I don't need. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right in between any clip. Let's expand the clip. You can use this little bar down here to expand the clip. And then I'm gonna control, right click, left click, right between my clip. And then I'm gonna hit ripple delete, and that's gonna close that up. Do it again and hit ripple delete. That's gonna close that up. Now let's see what we got over here. I'm gonna hit it one more time, ripple delete, and that's gonna close that up. So now I have an audio file that's basically talking about the things that I want to talk about.
How you doing? This is Dan Land Pro. You can find me at youtube.com, Steppers Express. Make sure you hit that subscribe, that like, and that share button. One of the questions people ask is, how do I make a stepping show? One of the main programs I use is StreamYard.
Okay, so now you see how I start cutting that out in order to get the audio to flow the way I want it to flow. Now what I'm gonna do, instead of you having those skips, because if you was using this as a video, you would see the imagery would be skipping, and then you would have to make some other like morph edits and things like that to take that out. But since it's an audio file, I'm gonna separate the audio from the video. And the way you do that in Premiere Pro CC is you hit Command and you hit L. Now you see the only thing selected is the imagery. Now I'm just gonna knock the imagery off, and now we have an audio file. It's really basic. I showed you how to use the razor tool to cut it, how to scrub through and listen through until you get the points that you want. So you can do it with the source monitor. You can do it with in and out points. I could do the exact same thing up here in the source monitor and then drag everything or drag each clip down into the timeline. But it's usually easier when you're doing something basic to do it in the timeline because you can see everything. You can put it all together pretty quick with ripple deletes, export it out. You might not even want 10, 15 seconds of a sound bite. And this is just an easy, quicker way to do it. It's simply how you make a basic audio file out of an existing video, or you could have made this an video file out of existing video, quick and fast in Adobe Premiere CC. Hey, I'm Dan Land Pro. Till next time, Steppers Express. Look forward to our next tutorial. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Each one teach one. Peace.